Hello, Powerhouse, my friends and colleagues. Wendy Cohen here. So excited for our next episode of the PowerHouse Cool Collabs Podcast. So, as a reminder, this is a commutable podcast. So, hopefully, you're on your way to some exciting new project. And if you are in the luxury design build industry, like many of our listeners are, that you have a day filled with nothing but beautiful things all around you. So, for today, there's my guest is a dear colleague of mine that I met, like I would always say to all of you, through being open to just always meeting new people. And this was a connection through the Chicago Merchandise Mart, highly regarded. And as soon as I met her, I fell in love and knew she'd be awesome for my business life, for my Powerhouse Mart community, and of course for this podcast. So there are three pillars that our guest here is going to kind of follow under. And one is being a cool leader who believes in collaboration. The second being that she lives with an attitude of gratitude. And finally, she gives back and loves helping other people. So without further ado, our guest today is Jennifer McGraw, the principal and owner of Jennifer McGraw PR. She's a crazy, awesome publicist. Jennifer, welcome to my family. Welcome to my podcast.
Oh, thanks, Wendy. I'm really happy to be here, and you are awesome. And I feel the same way about you. And when I first met you and heard about Power Smart, it was just a natural fit for me. And it's such a wonderful collaborative group of people. I've gotten a lot out of Power Smart already in only the two Power Smart conferences I've been to. I will continue. And I appreciate you having me here.
Oh, yeah. No, you and I just like fit together like two old girlfriends, although we're not old, in the sense that we just started talking and I immediately knew, boy, I have a new friend that I'm going to do a lot of great things with. So we built a lot of synergy so far. And so one of the things that I always like to start with is let you kind of give us your story because everyone who's listening to this is going to want to reach out to you. And there'll be links below where they can find out more about you. And of course, they can come to our events and find you. Even though you're in New York City, you find your way across the world. So please share with us about you and your career journey and your life.
Sure, I'd love to. Well, I did go to school for PR, and it led me on a path that started at Rolling Stone magazine. And it was a really incredible experience. One of those lucky interns that was able to be snatched up by Winter Media, which is the owner
Wow.
of Rolling Stone magazine. Yeah. And imagine being in New York City as a 21-year-old and being, working at Rolling Stone magazine. So super, super fun. I really got my creative juices flowing there, although I was in more of a sales/marketing position. And then immediately realized that it was time to fly and started going down the path of the PR. And in a few different industries, eventually I found the interior design industry and the luxury home industry, I should say. And that was one of the designers here in Long Island had hired me, and I absolutely fell in love with the industry. Could not wait to learn every nook and cranny about the luxury home space. And I did. Although at the time my children were 2 and 3 years old, so I had limited time to work. And obviously, and this is not a new story to many women, as the children get older, you have a little more time, so you take a little more work. And eventually it turned into just, multiple clients throughout the luxury home space. And it's been growing ever since. So it's been amazing. I have amazing clients, and the strangest thing is that I'm in New York, but I have a boatload of Chicago clients, and it just is like Chicago speaks to me. But that being said, I do have clients in Aspen and Florida and New York and um, Wisconsin. So I kind of go all over into the luxury home space, and it's not limited by geography. It's really about how ready a firm is for PR and how I can empower them and help them in that space.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous that you actually cover the entire United States. And I know you also have a client who's also opening up a space in Carmel, California. So you'll be getting entrenched in that. So for the people that are listening to this, I think PR has always been like a little elusive. Like, how do I do PR, and do I need a PR person? And so, well, how would you help the listener here really understand what it is that you do, and when it's time that they can afford or should afford to hire someone like you?
Sure. So it's kind of a two-prong approach. It's time and it's money, obviously. So it is if you think of PR, I think of a pie, like a pizza pie. And I think half of that PR is getting that firm, that designer, that brand into the universe to be considered through press, earned press. So articles in magazines, online room roundups, features in publications to reach the homeowner. Then on the other side of the pie is the industry recognition, which is equally as important for a design firm and for a brand. You want the industry to know who you are because when you're ready for book deals or product collaborations or speaking events, you would like that industry recognition as much as you would like the universe recognition. So it's a little bit, and I agree with you 100%. People sometimes think PR is just taking a project and submitting it to a magazine. That is one small portion of PR. And then it is really the connections, the relationships that the PR person has with, let's say, editors, for example. It's editors, it's showroom managers, it's owners of companies, and it's the way that the PR person can bring to that specific person the design firm or the brand. And it is amazing how you can be. Okay, so if you're a designer and you happen to know the editor of a magazine and you would like to package your project up and you would like to send it to the editor, realistically, if you're a busy design firm and you don't have the time to do that, and projects are coming in and you're shooting projects and you just have them sitting on your website and you have nowhere for them to be seen, that's probably a good indication that you might be ready to have a PR person because you shouldn't have that time. As a designer, you should not have the time to do another job, which is PR. So I kind of use that as a guide, is that when you don't have time to do it, then you're ready.
Yeah. Okay, that's really helpful. And so, can I ask? There's social media, and some younger, not younger. I'll just say in general, some people think, oh, well, I'm doing PR because I'm publicly out there doing social media. So how has it changed? How has PR changed over the years, and what is it today? What's the state of PR?
Yeah, so very interesting. I will start by saying Instagram is hugely important, and it still is. Meta changes their algorithms constantly, so it is a lot to keep up with. And it's really important for a firm if they want to connect with PR that they do have a somewhat of a solid social media plan because what has changed, obviously, back then, the way you find designers and see designers was picking up the physical magazine. Then it turned from the physical magazine to we can probably look at it online or on our phone with digital issues. And then there's the Instagram. And at the end of the day, between a print feature, Instagram, website, they all intertwine, and one is going to connect to the other. And so if a designer picks up a phone call from a new client and they say, where did you find me? A lot of times they will say, I found you, I follow you on Instagram. Truth, but they might have seen you in a show house, or they might have seen your ad and gone to your website, and from your website, follow you on Instagram. So, to answer your question, the what has changed is the social media aspect has jumped in, and then the online presence for PR is so big right now, and it's so wonderful because it gives opportunities to non-full home projects to get featured in room roundups. Let's say a story on Architectural Digest about murals in a dining room. It affords other designers that may not have full home projects the opportunity to get into a story online. And those are evergreen. Those online stories are evergreen, and they have a link to your website, and they can help people go drives business to your website, and it helps your social growth.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I remember back in the days when I was wearing my builder hat that, there was no such thing as evergreen. It's in a magazine and it sat on somebody's coffee table and you hope
Yep.
you passed around to every beauty shop, if they're still called that these days,
Right, right.
and all the banks and everything. So wow, that's great. I love that we really are a different world, and we're also just, one click away, in the sense that locally you were just local, and then maybe a little bit into the cities surrounding you. Now you're national quickly, right?
Yes. Yes. And it really, what's great about it? It gives an emerging designer. So I'm speaking of online. So let's say an article on House Beautiful about, um, let's say, the best children's bedrooms. So it definitely gives the emerging designer that does not have whole home projects that they are starting small. They're starting with rooms. They're starting with, two rooms in a home. It gives them the opportunity to showcase their work. Whereas before the online, you had to have a full home and you had to have big jobs. So I love that the online not only is great for full home tours, online features, but I love that it gives the emerging designers an opportunity to slowly grow.
Yes, absolutely. That's so cool. And we were talking before we actually jumped on the podcast about living with an attitude of gratitude, which is that second pillar, and giving back. And it was so beautiful how you were tying in that's part of you wanting to mentor and bring in these emerging leaders. So let's talk about living with an attitude of gratitude. I mean, I know you don't just work with interior designers, you work with brands. Tell me, how is it that you can help them as much as you can help somebody who's actually physically doing these projects?
So you mean the brands, Wendy?
Yeah, like Kalia
Yeah,
Stone, who you,
sure, sure. I mean, listen, I'll take a phone call anytime. I love to help empower a brand or a designer. And it could be as simple as, hey, Jen, I'd love 15 minutes of your time. I want to run through a strategy that we're working on for, Q1 of 2026. Absolutely. Or can you look at my website? And that is something that I definitely like to
so nice.
criticize, and I don't call criticize, I would like to say constructively recommend,
Yeah.
um, because oftentimes designers, brands, they may not have a strong website and they don't even know it. And there really are certain things that you must have as a brand in the luxury home space and as a designer in the luxury home space that you have to have. So I would love to help a smaller brand. I love the smaller brands because they are more bespoke, they are very unique, they are often artisans and handmade. And those are amazing. Those are the people that have that really passionate, slow moving growth. And I love speaking to those brands because there are ways that they should, I can recommend for them to make sure they're at this show, make sure you're getting your brand out here, and let's fix this about the website because you're missing the mark and you're missing the opportunities with this small shift. So absolutely would love to help any brands.
Yeah, no, I love that you do both, because first of all, it takes your interior design clientele and it connects them with your brands, which is beautiful. You know me, I'm all about the connection. But it's also, giving you a bigger depth of being able to serve in delivering great publicity and information, and also keeping you really aware of everything that's going on in the industry, all the different shows, all the different products, all the things that are intertwined. So I was thinking when you said that about the artisans, one of the things that we do every year is we do an event for the design build professionals at West Edge Design Fair. My friend Megan Riley, you might have met her.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I know Megan.
Yeah, oh, really? Great.
Yep.
She used to work in New York. That's
I
right.
met her at Naples. I
That's
met her at the Naples conference.
right. So she does this West Edge Design Fair every year. I think this year's going to be the 11th year and it's going to be the end of October. So many creative artisans. She calls it Meet the Maker. So
Yep.
definitely come and you'll stay with us in our other in our SoCal place, and we'll go to West Edge because they could all use your professional guidance. You are truly a gift to anybody who's an entrepreneur. So thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you. It's funny. I think I was actually looking at going this past year, and I think I had a conflict. It might have conflicted with High Point. I can't even remember, but I know it was on my calendar, and it's definitely a show I want to attend. So
Okay.
maybe this year.
Yeah, let's talk about it after this. So we're getting close to, it goes so fast, Jennifer. I was telling you earlier that it's
Whoa,
a
yeah.
20 to 25 minutes. We only have a few minutes left. So I do want to talk about, giving back. I know, you and I know each other, so I know how much you give back just in your presence. And you were a speaker at our last luxury conference, which was so awesome to have you part of the panel. So tell me, what are some of the things that you get to do that really fulfill your heart and passion every day as far as helping our world?
So in the design world or in my other worlds
Either
outside?
way, either way, you can share either of those because I know you do a lot in both.
Okay, so anybody that truly knows me knows that I'm a huge animal fan, lover, and I will do anything to have a fundraiser for a rescue group or an animal group. So probably most people know that about me. I
I
have two.
didn't. Thank you for
Oh no.
sharing that.
Oh yeah. I have two foster, three, well, one passed away, but three foster fails. I work with the rescue groups. I foster dogs, which is not always easy, but it's very, very fulfilling, and it's a something that has to be done. Inside my world, I love every once in a while when I'm looking through let's say I'm on the computer, I'm reading something, I'll find a designer that I know is an emerging designer, and I see some voids in either their photography, their styling, their website, and I will reach out to them and I will ask them if they wouldn't mind if I can just maybe spend a few minutes with them and just give them some helpful pointers. And I love to do it. And I love to mentor the emerging designers. And I'm happy to take a call at any time and, hey, Jen, can you look at my website and tell me what you think? It's, not always easy when you're in it and you're looking at your own website day in and day out and day in and day out to see sometimes an obvious hole or a void in let's say, your creative. So I would love to speak to emerging designers, even let's say we call them, freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, the sophomores. They're ready to go. They just need a little bit of tweaking here and there. Maybe I can help them with a better photographer or, tell them that their styling, they need to maybe brush up on their styling because styling changes all the time. One year it's orchids, the next year it's trees. I mean, one year it's lemons, the next year it's artichokes.
Wow. And you
So
told me that, and I was shocked. I'm like, wow, that changes that much. Yeah.
it does. It does. And it's really as simple as just looking at not the local, the recent national publications and looking at what is being put on the kitchen counter, what is being put on the bedside, what kind of flowers are in the bathroom. It's really that easy, but it's something that when you don't keep up with that trend, it's glaring.
Mm.
It's really obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd love to help any designers. They can call me anytime.
Oh, that's awesome. So I just love the beautiful spirit that you are, the beautiful human being. And
Oh, thanks, Wendy. You too.
yeah, I'm so lucky to have you in my life. And I'm going to put down all how to contact you, all the links and more about you below the podcast. And of course, this will be on Apple and Spotify and on our website and YouTube. But I love being able to take great unbelievable talent like you and share that with everyone who's out there. So thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being on our podcast. My last question, I believe I have 1 minute left, is
Yeah, go.
how would you define a well-lived life, Miss Jennifer?
Ooh, okay. So in my world, a well-lived life would be the perfect balance between a job I'm passionate about, and I am very passionate about my job, a family whom I love and loves me back, and enough playtime that satisfies all of my extraneous non-work passions and re-energizes and recharges me for the next day.
That is the perfect balance, my dear friend. Mwah! Thank you so much, and we'll be connecting and building synergies very soon. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Wendy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks so much.
Okay, bye, everybody.